Hello there. It's stream 289. Just starting up the stream right now. Just got the link to today's notebook page. And to fill in the today command. One of these days I'm going to fix this scroll thing, this overflow issue here. One of these days. What am I doing today? I am working on migrating the storage of the in-game, of the, it's redundant if I say in-game twice. Storage of his in-game ticketing system. Period. And then there is the link update. Let's test it out. And that's right, I can't test the chat overlay until someone else chats, but that's fine. Hopefully it didn't break over the week. I'm done with that, right? Filling in the rest of the plan. So, yeah. I'm going to be continuing this work I started a couple weeks ago. The game I'm working on has an in-game ticketing system. Right now, the storage is combined with the rest of the game's data, and it doesn't need to be. It's actually quite large and gets more and more large as time goes on. And eventually I'd like to have it just be stored in a database separate from the game, and maybe even accessible outside of the game. So first step to do that is to separate its storage from the main game data into its own files and solve all the little problems. So if the overall thing is migrating in-game ticket system storage, what are the little problems? Go over previous work. So I had started work on doing this, so we're going to go over the previous work, and then there are two aspects of it, right? Actually, I don't know if there are two. There are more. One would be get ticket data saved to separate files. And then on the flip side of that is get ticket data loaded from the correct files. So that'll work on an individual server basis. When we have a server operating in a cluster, and the server is, let's say the server is joining the cluster and needs to get the current state of all the data of the game, that's going to include the in-game ticket system, because every server is going to manage its own data. So that means include ticket data with installed snapshots. But then the flip side of that is what? Maybe not the flip side, but right now the snapshot includes everything, and I don't want... Right. Remove ticket data from saved snapshots, because they're going to be stored in their own separate files. Hey there, Mr. Halsey. Thank you for helping me test the chat overlay. I always assume things break if I haven't streamed in a while, so it's been like a week since I streamed. I'm just going over what my plan will be today. It's going to be migrating data, so it's not going to be so much game design today. It's going to be more redesign of how data is stored and moved around within the servers that operate the back end of my game. Hey there, Minear Play. All right. There was one other thing here. Included in install snapshots, remove it from save snapshots. What was it? This is what happens when I get distracted. I'm sure I'll remember what the other bullet is. I'll just move on, and when it comes to me, I'll just come back and write it down here. No, it's not your fault, Manir. I wasn't distracted by chat. I was distracted by something else. Yeah, it's not important that I get it correct right now. I'm just going to dive right into it. So the previous work I had, let's update the current task. Going over previous work started to move ticket system To migrate ticket system. All right. So I had that in a git stash. Let me go find it. Git stasharoo. Stash list. Which one was it? Stash show dash p stash 0? No, this was something else. So it's not that one. It must be stash 1. Yeah. Right, so we're removing tickets from saved game snapshots because they're in their own separate files. So let's pull that in. I think it's git stash apply stash 1. Cool, it worked. All right, so I can review what that was. Should I do it in git GUI? I guess so, even though it's not really dark mode. Actually, I don't have to. I can do that in VS Code with the git lens. Right, so in the host. Hide that, hide that. So we're introducing a new set of files that the backend is saving. They're going to end in .tickets. Hold on. No, I'm wrong. That's the backups for the ticket files. Right. The main file storing the game tickets will be just tickets.json. And I'm doing that just in case that file gets corrupted. We can go back to these backup files. Yeah, so every once in a while when we rotate the files, we'll be rotating the journal, the snapshot, and the tickets file. But the main tickets file will just be tickets.json. Sounds good to me. What's next? This is in where? When we start up the game data, we're reading from files, right? If the latest snapshot has tickets in there, we read them from the snapshot. Otherwise, we're going to open the tickets file and read from there. Sounds good to me. And what is this? Oh, this is when we're rotating files. When we rotate files, we're going to destroy the last backup. If it's, oh right, this is destroying old files, discarding files. I didn't put in here, this should be journals. Can I edit in here? I can. Let's say discarding journal, snapshot, tickets, ticket backup, number whatever. Sounds good. Saving the tickets. We're just telling the badly named object called modq, which should just be renamed to ticket system or something, to save to the tickets file. Sounds good to me. Okay, on snapshot created. This is when the game is saving data to disk, right? So it's forming where it's going to store the tickets, where the next backup is, or the backup of the last version is. It says if there is a tickets file, destroy the last backup. Why are we destroying? Oh, this hardly ever actually destroys anything. This is if something happens to be in the way of the backup, which it shouldn't be, because every time we make a new one, we're using the game journal generation number. So that kind of marches forward. So just in case there was a file there, we'd remove it. And then we're going to rename, this move renames the tickets file to be the backup tickets file name. Okay, where do we actually save the stuff? Okay, we're missing here, maybe I should just write this as a to-do. We're missing the actual saving of the tickets, aren't we? Where should I do that? This is new journal file. New journal file. We write it? Where do we write it? Oh no, the new journal file is always fresh and new from scratch. So what about the snapshot file? here we go. We write it to the disk. So probably right here I needed to do write write the new tickets file here. I'll get to that. I'm not going to write a new code. I'm just looking for code that is missing. And I mark with to-dos. All right. What else? This looks like it was moved. All right, it was moved from below here to up here. All right, so that we can give it to Raft. So that when, okay, yeah, when this is the callback that we receive if the server is told what the game data is, like it's behind and needs to catch up, or it's a brand new server. So it's called a snapshot installation, and that's reflected in this type here, snapshot installed. So if a snapshot is installed on the server, it's going to take the snapshot in the event and call a function to save that data. Why did I do this? I don't know. This thing seems kind of strange. I should just look and see what onSnapshot installed does. That's the one we were just looking at, right? No. Yeah, shouldn't we be doing the writing the tickets here? In fact, it should not only write the tickets, it should install the tickets, right? Wait a minute. Let me think about this. Yeah, I think we should do it here, because that would match what we're doing. What I just did the to-do here. We wrote the new snapshot file here when we create a new one. Also, when one gets installed, we should also we should just do the same thing. In fact, I should probably have the same code in both places. So that's on snapshot installed. In fact, let me compare this on snapshot. This code is the same as this code, right? Yeah. Almost exactly this. It's actually exactly the same. So I should have a subroutine do this. Let me put a note here. To do this part is also done by onSnapshot install. Refactor this to be a common function called from here and from onSnapshot installed. All right. And we'll let onSnapshot installed deal with saving the tickets. So we won't have to, I'm actually going to just discard this change. So how do I do that? I think I right click and no. I thought there'd be a menu option to do it here, but I don't see it. There probably is. I don't see it though. Huh. Let me read very closely. Show commit details, toggle blame, open line changes, show file. Isn't it better just create this in a subfolder just for the sake of code styling? Create this in a subfolder. I'm not sure I understand. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. Like everything is in main CVP? Oh, probably. My rule of thumb is if I get past 800 lines, I try to do that. And yeah, this is at 1400 lines. So that's a good point. I should give you a point. And let me take your comment. I'll do this. I'm trying to get into the habit of doing this. Put it in here. And so need to refactor the main.cpp in the Realm server host. I'm going to, at the same time, also do one other thing. I go to my GitHub and put it in here as a new issue. Do I still have it in my clipper? I do. realm server host main CPP needs to be refactored. Labels. There's like a refactoring. Yeah, refactoring. Create an issue. That's now this issue. There we go. I don't want to get too distracted, so I write down the note and I also put in a GitHub issue so I remember so I won't forget and I'll get back to it later. I want to keep focusing on what I was doing right now though. But yeah, you have a good point. All right. I wish that there was a convenient way I can just say apply this change, and I thought it would be here, but I don't see it. Maybe is that what toggle does? No, that's toggler. Oh, actually, here we go. Revert selected ranges. What does that do? Did that do it? That didn't do what I wanted, did it? I can't tell what it did. Okay. Maybe I need to select a range. It keeps moving the cursor down, so I'm not sure if it's actually doing what I want it to do. Hey there, Resubaka. Oh, I need to fix my camera. Right, click on camera, do filters, chroma key, and reduce its. There we go. Nice. Okay, yeah, I'm just going through, like the current tasks above my head says, going through the previous work I started to migrate the ticket system, and I'm seeing this change here and I'm not liking it. But, you know, I'm just going to give up. I'm not going to try to use the menu. Actually, let me. I keep waffling back and forth. I really want to use this tool. Reverts. I just don't know what a selected range is. Actually, I think that is doing what I want because it didn't mess with that line. It didn't mess with the line above. So yeah, I think I'll just accept that. Okay, and then I don't really need this anymore, do I? So let's revert that. All right. Subscribe to snapshots created. Why do I need a mod queue there? I think it's the same thing. On snapshot created should just be doing this, right? Yeah. So let's revert this. Okay. That was one file. This test also changed. Let's look at. Okay, I changed the nature of the test command used in a lot of tests because it used to be a ticket event and there was some problem with it being the ticket command. What was it? I don't remember. Maybe I was thinking I would be removing this command because it doesn't. It's not going to change anything in the main game data anymore. It's going to be changing the ticketing system, which is going to be exported later. This might have just been looking ahead to in the future needing to do this, but do we need to do it now? Maybe I won't accept that one for now. What's this other one here? Oh, that's why I did it. Yeah, because the snapshot won't include the ticket system anymore. And so when we do the test command, we have to do something else because the old test command will just change the ticket system. If we don't even serialize the ticket system anymore, we won't actually see any change. So maybe I do need to do this. What does it actually do? it creates a new entity in the ECS with no components. So it's sort of a no-op, isn't it? The only thing this would actually end up doing is changing the next entity number. Maybe that's why I chose that, because yeah, the only side effect of this, because there are no components there, is it will increment the next entity ID. Okay. Oh, that line wasn't even ever needed. That's why. Okay. Oh, no, it was. I'm just not looking far enough. No, for that test is not needed. What is this? Okay, it's removed because... Right, the serialization does change because... Well, we don't see what it is, but before and after should be different. Okay, I'll accept all of these changes. So... Let me try to get a sense of what was done and what wasn't done. I closed that too soon. And I opened the wrong tab. I'm going to wait for this to finish. Okay, now we can go back to here and go... not to that. Oh, crap. I closed the file completely. Pin this file, please. Okay, now I can look at the lens. So, hold on. Expected mod queued serializations, or tickets I can look for. I'm just looking to see how much I have to change that I haven't changed yet here. So when we install a snapshot, it has to include the tickets. And also player data includes it. Excuse me. Player data has to include the ticket system too. Oh, did we just loop through? I just did loop through. Okay. All right. So that's okay. All right. So I guess I will just start with the to-dos. Or let me go back to the Pioneer. So the previously we did that, and we did that. No, we did not do this one. Hold on. It depends on what I put on the to-dos. To-do. The writing. Okay, did I do the reading? So that would be on journal start. What was it? Start journal. Okay, that's not done yet. And what happened to the formatting here? That's wacky. Okay, yeah. So we are reading the ticket data. So this one is done. Let me just mark that I didn't need to do it at all. And hold on. Where is that? Where's the strike through thing? I'm not seeing it. Do I really need to go up here to do it? Okay, fine. Okay, so the saving we're not doing. That's marked with these to-dos. Or I was doing it, but I decided to move it, technically. Because I think it should just go in the same place. Maybe I do the refactoring first. I really want to see, is that code the same as the other one? Installed. Let me put them side by side. It looks exactly the same. Okay, so I'm going to do the refactoring first, actually. What am I going to call this subfunction? I guess store snapshot. And this snapshot will always include the ticket system because why? The executor will include it? Yeah, why not? Let me check something in ModQ though. Oh, does it do its own serialization? It does. It does. Okay, so that's different. Maybe that's why I had it separate then. Because back in here, back. We will have already serialized it in this thing. Let me find that. Yeah, this one. Oh, it's in make snapshot. Here we go. Oh, no, it doesn't include... No, it does. Here's the tickets. Right, so we've already serialized the ticketing system into the snapshot. So then... That means I have to actually remove it when we save it to the snapshot file, right? Okay, I need to decide. It should either be removed from here or it should be removed from the file. I still need it to be in the snapshot when it's transmitted to another server, though, because we're using the snapshot system to transmit all the data. At least until, unless I actually move all the tickets completely out of the game and have it be completely separate. But I'm not ready to do that yet. I would need some kind of database. So let's say that it's included in the snapshot up until the final save. So that would mean that it's included here, but then when we get to here, it needs to be removed. Before we do this snapshot, we got to pull out the ticket system. And I suppose we just... Yeah, we'd have to save that separately. So that means this is the way I save the ModQ thing has to be different, right? Right now, there's actually a save method. Yeah, this is wrong because the way that the tickets work... what am I saying? Not the tickets. The way make snapshot works is it's called on... Where is it? It's called on the snapshot state, which is in parallel to the main state. Why am I including main state there? I don't even remember. Shouldn't that be snapshot state there? Maybe it doesn't matter, because the term is going to be the same. I don't remember why. It sucks. Anyway, this is done in a separate thread, in the worker thread for the executor. So while it's making the snapshot, the ticket system could actually be updated. And if we went here and we wrote it like we were doing before, from the main state, it could be the wrong state. Okay, yeah. That means I need to go undo some of this stuff. Really, it shouldn't... It shouldn't even be part of ModQ at all, should it? Oh, what does this do right now? Yeah, let's just undo this. So that was probably in a git commit. I can just undo it. So we already did that. So I'm going to, this is implementing, well, migrating, well, oops. Migrating, well, or redesigning ticket system serialization to disk. That's what I am doing. Going to be a commit way back here when I did it, which was... Oh, that's interesting. How come that date is from September? Oh, because I had that on my Mac and I pulled it in. I remember that, doing that. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Nothing to see here. I suppose I could just use git lens here again. See what commit that's in. 11:15. Wow, it's a while ago. This one right here. I think I just want to revert this one. I should see what load actually does. So really this goes into main. It goes into main, doesn't it? So before I revert this, I want to get a copy of this code and fill it in where I had the to-dos here, right? Or was there one for journal, start journal? It actually just calls load. Right, so instead of doing that, I want to put the contents of that in there. So go, right, so there's a ticket file. Maybe this should just be a sub-function. Hey there, Toulouse and Nui. Oh, I just realized I forgot something. I have not been running my stream helper. Let me do that. These bouncer. Starting the bouncer. Bouncer's not really going to be bouncing that much. Mostly just tracking time. And reminding me if I forget to greet someone. Okay, join the room. Cool. Let's start the timer. All right. Okay. Current task still okay? Yep. Let's trim this off so it doesn't overflow. Hooray. Yeah, so let's instead of having MockQ do this, let's make another function. Load tickets. I guess it's in charge of the ticket file path, right? Hey there, TS Just. I know it's a stream. And I've been going a half an hour now. 33 minutes and 53 seconds. So this is what load tickets is going to have. Where should I put load tickets? Let's put it here. Load tickets, const standard string. Tickets file path. And for starters, we'll just have it call this directly. Okay, so ModQ has to be passed in too. All right, I'm going to steal from this comment. New haircut, a new schedule. Yeah, the stream times, I moved them back an hour again. My schedule's just been really, really crazy. Yeah, and I didn't put it into the Discord, did I? Well, I'm rusty. It's been like a week. Things are really hectic in my house with my family, and I have to do a lot of driving, and my wife's on business travel, and yeah, it's been a bit crazy and stressful, so I haven't been able to stream because of either scheduling stuff or just it's been just so stressful I needed to take a break. But I'm back and I'm try to keep this schedule if I can. It's just some days I might not be able to stream because I have to be somewhere else. But I want to keep to 4-hour slots at least. And if I can't find an open 4 hours, it's not going to be a streaming day. But if I can, I will. And I'll try to stick to this. Is the right now the quietest time period is when all the kids are at school, and I don't have to drive anywhere. So that's what I'm going to go for. Let's see. Load tickets. Deserialize the in-game, the state of the in-game ticketing system. This is the object which caches information about observation events and their history. And then the other one is tickets file path. And I'm going to steal from this one's declaration. This is the path to the file holding the serialized state of the in-game ticket system. There we go. You'd help me drive around if you live closer? Oh, that's very kind of you. Because some days now I'm doing 3 hours of driving, and it sucks. I used to work like an hour away from my home, and so I'd have to do 2 hours a day of driving, and I thought that was a lot. Now I'm doing 3 hours when my wife is on travel, and I have to do it all myself, and it really sucks. Especially when the traffic is like slow, stop and go traffic. I hate it. Yeah. So this has to have the mod queue and the tickets file. All right. So that's where we load, and this is the only place where we're going to load, right? The other place was when it's deserialized, right? I mean, when a snapshot is installed. Where was that? On snapshot installed. Right, because the main program doesn't actually need to handle the deserialization. The executor does that, right? Or RAF does that. One of the two does it. I have to track down where it's done. We just need to make sure we save a copy. Right, okay. Oh, I have a save tickets. Shouldn't save tickets and load tickets be in the same place? That would make sense, wouldn't it? Let's find where save tickets is, and let me put load tickets in the same, right above it. Let me even use the same wording. We'll just say load the current state of the in-game ticket system. And this one doesn't take a path because we're always writing to the same path when we save, right? Yeah. Okay. So here's where I need to kind of open up this file and kind of just replace the contents because it's not going to be ModQ's responsibility anymore. So instead of that, it's modq.deserialize. There we go. And then the same thing for save tickets. Because I'm going to be undoing this, so that goes here. So this is modq.serialize. There we go. Hey there, Pro Sam. How are you doing? I have to reciprocate with a Raimu EJ. To be balanced. There must be balance in the cacti. All right. So serialization is going to be done by the main by the queue, but we're actually writing it to disk in the main program. You're tired? I understand that. My daughter's tired a lot. I'm not tired. I am trying to get back into the swing of things after taking semi-break. Basically, I couldn't stream for the last week because either just too much stress or lots of driving around, schedule changes. So it happens once in a while. It's better than burning out and then stopping for a longer time, right? Yeah. Well, it happens to everybody. Okay, I think I've saved the part of this code that I care about, right? The rest of this I think is not needed. I will just revert this change now. Make sure I'm getting everything. Yeah, like we shouldn't be doing that anyway. It doesn't make sense that we did it in both places. Actually, take it back. That's the test. The tests have to have a copy of the name. Yeah, okay, I'm ready to revert this. So we just right click and we do revert this commit and we're done. This weird bin is because of the stash, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Fixed. Okay, so that should, the code should be gone from here, so ModQ doesn't know about loading and saving anymore, and it's now stored here. Maybe it wasn't a good idea venting your frustrations on Discord? Nah, it's okay. Don't worry about me. The way I'd handle stress is just take a break. I think that's if you can take a break, it helps you avoid burning out. Same thing with frustration. If you're working on something, get frustrated, then just taking a break and doing something else is a good trick. Like for example, I was getting frustrated working on this kind of stuff, speeding up the NPC AI. It's a really tough problem, right? And iGrok was sort of steering me towards the right solution at right here, where I should have a generic pathfinding cache. And I'm like, that's going to take me a lot of time to just wrap my brain around. And I was getting a little bit frustrated trying to do that on stream. So I'm like, I'll take a break from that, and today I'll work on something else. So taking breaks can help both for frustration and for stress. I feel bad for people who can't take a break, where you're kind of stuck and you have to just kind of deal with the stress a different way. That sucks. Let me make sure this is the load should be called here when we start the journal. Start the journal is really not the right word anymore. It should be called like load state or something. Load game state. Would it be bad if I just changed this name right now? No, it wouldn't be. Let's just do it. Load game state. Done. Just change this to be in different words other than load. Set up the in-memory state of the game based on the information saved, previously saved, to the file system. There we go. And we're setting up journals, we're setting up... These are basically all of the objects responsible for holding game state right now. I might actually pull them together into under one common object that delegates to all these other things. Because right now, whenever I add a new object that involves more game state, I'm adding more and more parameters to this thing. Right, so all of the game state previously was in the snapshot file. Now we broke it up. So this is the transition code. The snapshot could have the ticket system, and it will at first, but then as we transition, it'll instead be loaded from a different file. And that will be handled by this function here. Do I load tickets any other time? Nope. And then where do we save the tickets? Save tickets should be not called anywhere. That's bad. Oh, because I have them marked as to-dos, right? Yeah, writing the new tickets file. And I was first going to refactor this out. Then we'll add a save tickets. All right, I think I got it. Just need a name for this blob here. It's not exact. Well, actually, no. It is the exact opposite of load game state, right? So should I just call it save game state? I should, shouldn't I? Save game state. There it is. Along with the to-do that we have to write the ticket files. And we don't need this anymore because that's exactly what we're doing. We are refactoring it. So let me take this and I'm going to have all those oh, actually, no, I'm not. This is not exactly a mirror of load, because load, we're always loading from a snapshot into a bunch of things, and the opposite direction, we already have a snapshot prepared, we're just saving it. Yeah, because that's how save works. Yep, okay. I've convinced myself it's the right thing to do. So, write the given serialization of the in-game. Write the given serialization of the in-memory state of the game to the file system. And we'll be given a snapshot. This is, okay, I must have documented this before. The snapshot, okay, that's lame. We can do better. This is a complete serialization of all the in-memory state of the game. Very impressive. And I can't even wrap that correctly automatically, so I gotta do that. And it's just a big huge JSON value right now. Is that all I need? I think so. I don't think I need any other parameters. Okay, and then it's just save tickets, right? And that is not included. Wait a minute. Why is it mod queue? It shouldn't be mod queue. I need to work on save tickets first then. Yeah, because that's not correct. We're gonna be given a serialization instead, aren't we? So let's just call it serialization. And it's just an input only. Say, and this is going to be save the given serialization of not necessarily the current. That's misleading. It's serialized while the game is still evolving, and so it's always a little bit old. Save the given serialization of the state of the in-game ticket system. This, the epic unknown, 7 months. Thank you for the sub, the epic unknown. I appreciate the support, as always. You're awesome. And put a smile on my face. Hey there. Hey, right back at you. Oh, we were working on a different emote. I don't think I'm gonna have slots for every emote I might want to do. Unless I start getting rid of some of the old ones. I think the next one was Raimu Good, which is supposed to be my version of the Tim Good. Because I really like that emote, the double thumbs up. How come it says I haven't waved to you, Toulouse? You are greeted. Dream Helper was out of date there. You want that one? Have you seen the Discord? TS Just made a funny looking one. Funny in a good way. Let me find it. Let me find here it was. Can I copy a link and open it? Not that window. Okay, I'll just put the link in here. He photoshopped in Tim's beanie and glasses. It's kind of scary to me. So I don't know if I'll use the photoshopped one or the regular one, because I don't want to completely be someone else. I'd have to start wearing a beanie, and then it would be me. I have to make it unique to me. All right, so this is the serialization. Actually, let's not use the word in its own description. When I did save game data, what did I say? Well, I got away with it that way. What theme do I use? And hello. Let's see what theme. I always forget what theme I use. So that is in the preferences, right? No, it's not in the preferences. That was somewhere else, right? I used Dark Plus. Oh, and I had a command for it. I forgot I had a command for it. Thank you, Toulouse. Dark Plus. I guess I'm just going to use the same word. This is the serialization of the in-game ticket system to save. So we don't need to do that anymore because it's just given to us. And that's all I need, right? So save game data state just needs to call save tickets. And that's snapshot tickets. And then I need to make sure we don't write the tickets out to here. So let's remove it from here. Remove tickets. Yeah, no need to apologize. I forgot too. I forgot not only that I used Dark Plus, I forgot that I had a command for it saying that I was doing that. So we're including the game journal generation and removing tickets. And because we're saving them to a different file now. That makes sense to me. And then the load should do the opposite, right? It should load from the two different files. Right, so we load the snapshot and load the tickets from a different file. Sounds good to me. One thing I should check is when we load the snapshot, the executor has the binary version of the snapshot that it uses to install on other servers. Is that recomputed after we load, and where is that done? Anyway, save game state should be what we call for all those to-dos, right? Save game state snapshot. And then I don't need this stuff. And then save game state snapshot. And I don't need that. Okay, I did need some of this. Hold on. Why is it moved to latest snapshot file after? And what does this do? Oh, okay. So that's different. I need to do this separately. Hold on a second. The instance is a variable is a shortcut for calling the constructor. Yeah. It's just a new kind of constructor syntax. That's what I wanted. What's the same there? So I just need to do this, right? Basically doing the rename here. Keep forgetting to plug my phone in and the battery almost dies. There we go. Okay. So this one creates a new snapshot. So we had to move all these other files out of the way before we can. So that's why this, right? This is why we're having the same problem here. Actually, that should just be another function, shouldn't it? To do the move. Let's have it. Let's call it install snapshot file. No. Yeah, why not? Install latest snapshot file. Where to put this function? All my functions are out of way, like here and there, not organized very well. Let's put it next to this one. So it's gonna do what on snapshot install, this part of it here, install latest snapshot file. And this is the contents of it. And then we can call that from on snapshot created instead of this. Yeah, okay. So basically take the new snapshot file and move it to where the latest is. Oh, some creature is scratching at the door. I'll be right back. Just a minute. I have a creature. Deadly claws of steel. To rend your living flesh. He always wants to be let out after breakfast and then comes back in like an hour later. And then he wants to be let out later. One of these days I'll just give up and just make a little doggy kitty door for him so he can come in and out whenever he wants. And then install a Raspberry Pi to automatically lock it at night and unlock it in the morning. All right, I need to document this. Take a newly created snapshot file and rename it to be the latest. Latest. I don't like that word. I'll just go with it. I'll know what it means. So we're doing that in two places. When we install a snapshot, we're just saving and installing it. And when we are creating a new one, we're rotating things through. So we save it and then do some rotation and then install it. Someone making one of those doors that would scan the cat's mouth, and if I had a present, it wouldn't be let in. That's That's more advanced than I need. My cat doesn't bring back presents anymore. He just wants to go in and out. And actually sort of need the same thing for the dog. I was just thinking leaving it open during the day and then having it automatically lock at night. And it would have to be a one-way lock. So if they were outside, they could come in, but they wouldn't be able to go back out. One of those things I'll probably never do because it's too advanced, even though it sounds fun. Yeah, but how would that work though? Would it just use image recognition? Take a picture? Oh, that looks like there's something in the cat's mouth, so don't let it in. My mind just jumps to like wondering how it works. Okay, I think I've beaten this to death. This will keep the data separate, but it's going to assume that it arises from the executor together, which I think is what we want. Does this actually update as I change things? It does. That's cool. So then the other file was this one. Okay. There was a button to move to the previous and next, right? Next. Alt F5? Move to, what's previous then? Shift Alt F5. That's awkward. And that's not even working for me. What? It doesn't even work for me. Okay, I don't know what... okay, next change. How come it's not working for me when I hit the key combination? Am I just dumb? It says next change Alt F5, and when I click it, it does it. But when I hold down Alt and press F5, it doesn't do anything. I'll just use the buttons. Sure, we're gonna go with this change. Actually, I don't know if I want this. We wanted to include the tickets, don't we? Yeah. So I want to revert these. Yeah. Revert, please. What's the key combination for revert? There is none. The answer's that. Actually, I don't want any of these changes, do I? Okay, I need to train myself. It's the middle of the screen there. Middle, there it is. Wait a minute. I think I just want to, I want to revert this entire file. I shall do so. Revert entire file. Done. Either 2H strike. When you jump into a function at step, some lines it jumps back to the same function you entered in the first place. I think even if optimizations are turned off, the way the compiler would turn certain constructs of syntax into assembly language would cause something like that to happen, because it might introduce what did they call them? Like anonymous functions and anonymous bits of code that would be registered in the symbol table as being in certain places in your code, but since you didn't actually write the code for it, it's inserted by the compiler, it has to pick somewhere in your code, so it'll pick the place most relevant to the code that it auto created, and it might not make sense like to you as you're debugging. It might jump back because the wrapper was tied to a location in your source code different from where you thought it would be. Kind of hard for me to put this into words. That's what I think it is. I think it's the compiler adding extra like wrapper code. So like for example, if you use a lambda function in C++, it turns it into an anonymous class. And so that anonymous class has source code, right? It had to be inserted by the compiler, and so the debug symbol table will have file and line number information for it as you're stepping through, but it won't actually exist in your files. So it'll look like it's jumping back to like back to where you have the lambda function in the function where you created it, even if that is nowhere near where you're calling it. You'll use simple functions, no lambdas. Well, the lambda's just an example. I don't know what you're doing. I'm just guessing that whatever it is, the compiler had to insert extra source code to like fully represent what you're trying to do in the syntax. I don't think it would be the same thing in C. I think that kind of thing is usually a C++ thing. In C, there's very little, if any, auto-created code in C. And I think a lot of people prefer C because of that. It's like what you see is what you get. Whereas in C++, some syntax can actually introduce extra code that the compiler added for you. Yeah, the assembler view would give you some insight into that. In fact, even the names of any injected code would probably also give you a hint. Yeah, that's what I'd try. Look at it as assembler view. See what it's trying. It's probably, like I said, it's probably extra code you didn't write, but the compiler added, and it had to tie it to your source code somehow in the symbol table, and it did its best, but it's not perfect. Is there an assembler view in VS Code? Yeah, you might have to use Visual Studio. Might just. All right. We're done looking at the diff. This actually might be complete, right? Because the only real change is that the main program of the server is pulling the data apart, but otherwise it's held together. So maybe I should just build this and test it. So again, 2A strike, I'm just guessing. I could be totally wrong. That's just my first guess. In fact, I use lambdas here. How do I find? Yeah, so for example, this function, where it's actually called, is somewhere completely different. So as I'm stepping through, it'll suddenly jump onto this line, and you'd be like, how the heck did we get there? And it's because it called a function that was stored as a function object that was filled in by a lambda function. And where in our source code we actually stored that function object is totally different from where it actually ends up getting called. It's one of the disadvantages, I think, is that you'll jump into here and you'll be like, how the heck did I get there? What call? In fact, if I want to know who calls this, it's kind of hard for me to tell. I have to actually go to the subscribe and see, well, it gets put into this event subscribers, right? And so I have to search for where event subscribers is actually pulled out of, which is not even the same file, right? It's somewhere else. It's here. And here's where it's called. So you'll go, if you're on this line and you step, you'll end up on this line and you'll be like, how the heck does that line go to that line? And it's just because this ends up being the method of an anonymous class. And at this point, it's technically this function object is a pointer, right? Standard function is really a pointer to an anonymous class of some kind. And yeah, in C it would be a little bit more straightforward about how you get there. It would be like, oh, there's a pointer to some object, so to some function, so we don't know which function it is until we step. And then it's like, okay, we're in some kind of class that we had to provide, right? It is a bit of insanity. I think you have the same problem in JavaScript, right? When you have when you pass function objects around, and if you were to step through JavaScript, you would in this kind of pattern where it's like you're calling someone who subscribed a function, you don't know where you're gonna go, and then okay, this is one subscriber. Let me just run all the tests of the game to make sure nothing is broken. And then, actually, while we're doing that, let me build it in Visual Studio to get the release build. And we'll just try running the game and see. What we should see is that when the snapshot is made, it should take the ticket system and store it separately. That's the plan. We'll have it create a snapshot, and then we'll stop the game and run it and make sure that the tickets didn't get destroyed. It should load, but we'll save and load correctly. Oh, and I was going to track down what the executor does when it first starts. I think it's in this mobilize. How come that's showing that? I don't know. That's a IntelliSense thing. Where do we actually get the snapshot that we're going to install onto other servers, though? Oh, wait a minute. That's something that Raft does, isn't it? I guess I can find it here. Hmm. It's been a while since I did this. Is it here? Persistent state cache. What is that? Oh, no, that's different. Those are some special variables that have to be persistent no matter what, or else Raft doesn't work. I'm guessing it's with LogKeeper. Oh, that's right. The journal is responsible for this. Okay. Install snapshot. Where do we actually do an install snapshot? Right here, right? No, this is when we receive it. Where do we actually make one? Right here. Get snapshot. Okay, so does that mean that the main has to actually make it when we start the journal? Load game state. Hey there, iGrok. And Radon 90. I'm gonna have to reload VS Code, I think, because it's confused about this. It's not a compiler error. Oh, no, it is a compiler error. Ooh. Identifier not found? Oh. I gotta move these. Load and save tickets needs to be moved. Okay, we'll move them. To up here. Yeah, I'll just move them here. Still, I want to kind of find out how the journal gets its first snapshot. So load gamed state. The journal. Oh, there we go. It's given latest snapshot. Oh, this is a problem. We got to include the tickets into the snapshot when this happens. So, ooh. Load tickets should take the serialization and stash it into this snapshot, shouldn't it? How this load tickets, we call it from one place. Okay, so I could just have it returned out. This serialization here. Why not? Return. Load the current state of the in-game ticket system from the file system. Okay, and return the serialized state of the in-game ticket system is returned. So we can just return. Okay, that means I can't do a move here. So we will do it that way, since we need it in two places. It's const though. I wonder if I can avoid moving it, avoid making a copy. If it just needs me to put it into a vector. Can I move it into a vector and then move it back out to return it? I could, right? So I could say serializations. The type of that is kind of complicated. Realm server I game object serializations. Paste. I'll do this for readability. Then I don't know what's wrong here. Incomplete type not allowed. I think it's just IntelliSense is screwed up. So here I'm going to do a standard move. Well, hold on. I can just do this, right? Const standard string. This is also const, right? No, it's not const. Not const. Well, that was a JSON value. I need it as a string, right? Or no, I need it as a JSON value. Hold on, let me think about this. JSON value, yeah. Why did I make it a string? So if I put it back in there, serialization is standard move, serializations 0. Can I do that? Can I not do that? Oh, because it's const. There we go. So, what if I simplify this a bit? If I do it this way. So then put that in here. The serializations are decode from a string a JSON value, and then I don't need that. This would have to be that. I suppose we could just return it. Yeah, then can I just do, hold on, can I just do this then? Move that to there, and then do that there. And why even bother with that? This probably already does what I want anyway, right? Yeah, why am I even bothering this? Just do that. There we go. The reason why this has to be an array is because this deserialize is part of a abstract class. How do I show that? Go to declaration, not peak. Go to declaration. Yeah, here. It's a virtual. Because we don't know how many of these. Each of these is a vector. I mean, each of these is of JSON value, but we don't know how many things we'll need. Some game objects need more than one. All right. Then if load tickets gets it back, right, I'm getting it back for the purpose of putting it back into the snapshot so that when the journal is started, it's given, the tickets are in there where they should be. So this should be latest snapshot tickets equals load tickets. As long as that can be modified, and it can. So that works. This is going to use standard. This is going to use, yeah, R value. Good. Cool. So they're stored in separate files, but when we load them, they go into the same snapshot, and that's so that once it's in the journal, then the Raft can use it to install that snapshot onto the other servers. So this should work. Unless I have compiler errors. Function, oh, did I have an early return? I did have an early return, look at that. I guess we'll just return an empty vector. No, we can't do that. A return, and just return null pointer, because that's convertible to a JSON value. Hold on. That'll work, because if if a mod queue is deserialized and it's if it's a null, then this won't ever be greater than or equal to 1, so it'll just make a blank ticket system. That'll work. Okay, I really want to fix the IntelliSense bugs here. See that? It keeps coming back up, so I think I'm going to just stop VS Code and restart it. I think it's a little bit confused. I think it gets confused when you do a git revert or git, not revert, it's git reset to revert an unstaged change. It gets a little bit confused about those symbols. Now it is not confused. Good. Making the release build. Okay. So here's the moment of truth. Update RVS and serve. And then it should load correctly. Oh, wait a minute. It's not loading the latest code either. Because I was playing around with that yesterday, fixing how the orchestrator works with versions marked bad. So that won't quite work. I need to... actually, a quick and dirty thing would be to just delete it. Delete that version. So let me do that. From the stage versions packages. I'll just delete the package. Deleted. Now it should say, oh, can't find that version, so it's going to install the default package. It's exactly what I want. Nice. Okay. Cool. Caught up to cluster, and so when I tell it to make another snapshot, it should make a new tickets file. Oh, it actually did it right away. So actually, I should be able to see that now. Stage. Just look at one of these. Empty. That's not good. Where are the tickets? I don't think it worked. The game snapshot is smaller, but I think the tickets got lost. Yeah, I don't see no ticket files. It failed. Failed. So we lost all the tickets? Hmm. Why would it be empty like that? Yeah, lose all in-game tickets. It made one with a number and it's empty. And it okay. Main problem is it never created the tickets.json, right? It never made one. So let's stop it. I'm gonna need to wipe those old backups. I had a script here, right? Restore. And it used a backup.snapshot. So let's make one on the stage, right? So copy 0008141, not snapshot, to backup snapshot. All right, so then I can just do restore. I also want to update that restore thing, right? Because it's going to restore old snapshots, but not old backups. Why am I having it delete all of the other backups, though? Do I really want those deletes? I don't think I want to do that. That's unnecessary. Let's remove the deleting all the snapshots. Let's just have it delete the old game journal. And I'm going to want to also have like a backup tickets too. Tickets. This is tickets.json. I know I'm inconsistent about this. It should be game.tickets, shouldn't it? I'm bad. I'm bad with my names. 11 and 12. So don't have any backup. So I'll just make that empty, right? Yeah. So touch backup tickets. Should the stage be stage? No. Oh, wait a minute. You mean this one? That's where where each server holds them. On the main stage, I'm keeping one backup copy. I think it's okay. Line 2? Well, that's where the stage folder is. So it's just stage, right? There's my backup tickets. There's my backup snapshot. So it's going to delete off of servers 10, 11, and 12 the last journal, and it's going to take the backup snapshot and tickets and move them onto every server. Should it have two? Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you, Toulouse. How come I don't see those things? I should see it as the color's not right. Mr. Muffles, long time no see. I hope you've been okay. I miss you and your streams. Mr. Muffles is working on a game in Unity. I haven't seen it in a long time since he hasn't been streaming. Currently making your first character? Nice. There's not much you can do in my game, but one of these days I'll get to doing actual game dev and then you'll actually have something to play. Takes forever to when you make your own game engine. Okay, that looks good now, right? So I can just run it. So restore. and the game snapshot is the larger size that has the tickets in there, so we didn't lose them. Now I need to figure out what happened that we lost the tickets. So let's trace it from load game state. It should have gone here and done that. Do I want to put some debugging in here? Or I can actually just look it up. I can do a grep, right? Grep tickets from game snapshot. And in the wrong directory, right? Actually, I can just do it from the backup. Yeah, so there are tickets. Quite a few tickets. Because individual players have tickets, right? That's the one I care about, I think. I should have... Oh, actually, I have some of these left over, so I can do... I won't be able to find that top-level tickets from one of these files. 8149. There we go. Snapshot. Yeah, so that's missing. All right. So it should have been loaded because it has them. So it's when it saves the snapshot again, when it makes it, it's not being included. So make snapshot right here. Oh, it just sets the flag and the worker does it. Worker, where are you, worker? How come I'm not seeing it? Is it not in this file? It should be. What is it called? Here it is. How come I couldn't find it? That's weird. It can't find it even though it's there. Worker. I don't know why I can't find it. Hey there, Batcraft. Okay. So when it's told to make a snapshot, it will call something here, right? Where is it? Make snapshot. How come this couldn't find it before? That's weird. Because there it is. And the tickets are included in there. Okay, and then, so that should end up going back to the main program, right? On snapshot created. And it should have gone into here. It should have pulled it out of the snapshot. Actually, it was creating an empty file. I wonder if that's the problem. Is it not called tickets? It is called tickets, so what the heck? I mean, I made a copy of it to remove it from the copy, but the original should still have it in there. George saved you? Good job, George. Because the remove removes it from the source. Well, this is actually making a copy, not a reference. IntelliSense is not helping me out here. Oh, wait, it's a const. No, yeah. We're not removing it. It's const, so we can't remove it. Remove you. I wouldn't be able to call remove on this. It should tell me that that's a syntax error. Or that's a semantic error. Yeah, no legal conversion. Oh, wait. I know what happened. This is a JSON value. This is a string. Oops. Hey, there's 715209. Yeah, we did not encode it to a string. I messed that up. Okay, let's look back and see how this was done. Git will help me. Actually, why not just use git lens here, since I can. Close the lens thing, and then find where it's done here. Wait. This isn't right. Yeah, it's in that right JSON to file, right? Yeah, what am I doing having this? Shouldn't this just be doing right JSON to file? So this should just be a JSON value. And it's not it is a serialization, but it's in JSON. And I should just be doing write JSON to file after I make the tickets file, right? So file value should just be tickets file serialization. Done, right? This stuff I shouldn't have to do because that's what write JSON to file does. In fact, it does it with pretty printing. And it does the to encoding, and then, yeah, okay. Right, and it'll overwrite the file if it's there, so it's actually better. So then what does the load do? Yeah, it does the from encoding. But this is also redundant, isn't it? Because I can just do read JSON from file. That'll get me back a JSON value. Yeah, I don't need this. I can... This is all redundant. I can just put it in here. Read JSON from file. Tickets file. There. And at worst, this will give me an invalid JSON value, which when we deserialize it, it'll just be empty. There. Okay, try attempt number 2. Okay, so up one more, update R, serve. I need to wait for it to actually make a snapshot. Or I can log into it and actually make a snapshot. Localhost. Oh, did it do it yet? Nope. Let's force one. Make a snapshot, please. There, it made a snapshot, and then... Okay, the name is wrong. It put the actual number in there. But their content is there. So I could do a less on that. Yeah, so all the ticketing system is in here. It should have named it tickets.json though. One problem. Yep, I'm splitting out the tickets from the main game snapshot. The names are all wrong too because a snapshot should include the tickets, but when we save it to a file, it's not really a snapshot anymore. It's a subset of the snapshot. It's everything but the tickets, and then these are the tickets. Why does it have the number in there though? That's what's confusing me. On save game state. Yeah, it should be tickets.json, writes it to a file. So why is it not doing that? When is save game state called? When snapshot's created. Oh, but then it's doing some moving, right? Oh. Hold on. Is that what's going on? I see. This save game state is saving to new snapshot file, and then it's being moved in. So should the tickets then. There should be like a new tickets file name. Right, because the old one needs to be moved first. Okay, I know what I did wrong. So go ahead and stop this. And let's back up. So restore. So these are kept, that's okay. But the game snapshot is restored and there's no tickets file. Well, it's empty. Okay, so third try. Maybe here's where I'll fix the names. Let's keep these consistent, right? Maybe I shouldn't call this snapshot anymore though. No, for now we'll keep it. Latest will be game. So I really don't need to have that, do I? It should just be game.tickets. So there should be a latest tickets file name. Current ticket. This is the name of to give to the file in which the current state of the in-game ticket system will be stored. You're still thinking if you should learn C. Why not learn C? I think it's a valuable skill to have, even if you don't really use it. Ticket file name is latest file prefix plus ticket file extension. Right, so there's no new journal file because it's always empty when it's new, but for tickets there will be. This is the name to give to the file in which the next state of the in-game ticket system will be stored while writing to it. New ticket file name is next ticket. Is it tickets file extension? Ah, the problem is this has a backup in there. Okay. So this should be plural everywhere, right? New tickets. Yes. Okay. So that will have broken a bunch of places, right? So this should be new tickets file name. We always save to a new file. And then we're always loading from the latest tickets file. GeForce Game Ready driver is available. No, thank you. I am streaming right now. I do not want to update my graphics drivers. Okay. So this should be tickets file extension. Tickets, hold on. This should just follow the same convention, shouldn't it? Tickets file extension. And there should be an old and a new. This is new. There should be an old. Latest tickets file name. Old snapshot, new journal. Wait a minute, hold on. Old journal, old snapshot, old tickets. New journal, new tickets. Hold on, what? Does he have any async stuff? No. You would just have to spawn threads, yeah. Well, I don't know about the latest C, it might. The latest C might. You'd have to look it up. I don't know the latest C, like C20 or whatever it is. Or C, I can't remember what the latest C version is. I only know up to C11, and I know that that doesn't, actually, I'm not sure, actually. C99, I know. I know that didn't have any async stuff. You have to use your OS's thread facilities. It might. Nowadays, it might. I don't even see. There we go. You could have threads in C11. I just know in C99 and before you would have to use whatever libraries provide threads from your OS. It wasn't in the standard library. Okay, there's something wrong here. We have an old journal, old snapshot, old tickets. New journal. Where's the new snapshot? There's the new tickets. Old journal file destination, old snapshot file destination. So this should be old tickets file destination. Tickets file extension. Destroy. Okay, this is where it's going to be moved to, right? Okay, this is confusing me. So there's no new snapshot. Oh, then there's no new tickets either. Right, because we don't make a new one right away. We're just... These names are all messed up. C17, C18? Is that the newest? Yeah, I try to stick to at least C99. These names are all messed up. Let me just skip from here to here. So the old journal file destination. Okay, yeah, that is the last journal file. So we're moving old journal file, which was the latest. Now it's the old one. Why am I recalculating this? Shouldn't I just use the old file destination name? What the heck am I doing? This is the same as that's name. So what am I doing? I calculated up here. I don't understand. What was I thinking? Yeah, it's exactly the same. This should just be move to that.get path. Done. If the old snapshot file is existing, because it might not be, because we might not even have a snapshot to begin with, right? So only if it does exist. Yeah, then don't I want to just use that.get path again and get rid of that? Old snapshot file yeah, it's the same. And the same thing here, right? If old tickets file is existing, old tickets file destination destroy, and old tickets file move to old tickets file destination. Okay. What am I doing with this new journal file? Why am I moving it there? Latest journal file. That's old journal file. What the heck? Is this gonna make a new one? Yeah, okay, it makes a new snapshot. No, it makes a new snapshot file. This makes a new tickets file. Or do we make a new journal file? Who makes a new journal file? Now I'm really confused. What? This doesn't do anything. Don't we have to tell the journal to start? Okay, something's got to tell the journal to open a new file. Where does that happen? Yo, journal. Who tells you when to open a new file? Okay, that's when it starts. Where do we tell the journal when to start over? Yeah. Not that. That's the back. Oh, here we go. Make new journal. So we just basically make a new journal and tell it to start with a new path. So when does this get called? It's a journal factory. Okay. Oh, the executor does that. Okay. So convoluted. So when is journal factory actually called? Oh. Makes a new journal with that new numbered name at that point. While it's making a snapshot. And it's doing this in the snapshot state. So there'll be two journals side by side. The current one and the next one. And this, where is it? Publish on snapshot created. Back up to here. And looking for it. It's going to be around here somewhere. I can't find anything. So, oh, here we go. Snapshots created. On snapshot created, right? Right, okay, that's right. So at this point, there'll be two journals. The last one and the next one. The last one needs to be... The last one will be old journal file, and it gets moved to the last generation's number. Right there. And then this is the next journal. It gets moved into the latest journal. Yeah, okay. That's because if the snapshot didn't get fully created, like we stopped the server while it was still writing to it, we would throw away the next journal too, and we'd just go back one version. So I don't need to worry about that with the tickets. So that's just a funny thing that happens with the journal. The tickets operate the same way the snapshot file does. So I think this will work. This will create it as the next tickets file, and then this will put it into place. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Maybe not. It's this one that does it, right? Okay, this one needs to do both the snapshot and the tickets. So where is this called from? Installed. Okay. Yeah, okay, so let's rename this one. This should be install latest game state. And this has to do both the snapshot and the tickets. So new tickets file. Oops. Can't I? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong key. Uppercase. There we go. There we go. All right. Building, building, building. We're all set to go. It's restored. Okay, so update and run. I don't actually have to say backup, do I? I'll fix that for next time. Ticket backup. This should just be tickets. Okay, so we updated. So we're here. I just hit snapshot. It makes a snapshot. Oh, there we go. Game tickets. And if I do that again, now those tickets are there. And the ticketing system is there. So let me, final test would be stop the servers and restart them and make sure the tickets didn't get destroyed. What's wrong with having the tickets as part of the snapshot? I'm migrating them out because now that it's a separate set of files, I can now keep the snapshot file and move the ticket file into be a database. So it's just a step in it's a step along the way to migrating the tickets completely out of the snapshot and into a database. So now that it's separate, now the snapshot file is devoid of ticket info, and then I can just work on taking the ticket file and then moving it to a database instead. Yeah. So can't do it all in one step. At least I can't. I'm not good enough to do it all in one step. Okay, so if I reload, the tickets will still be there, right? The tickets are there. They're stored in a separate file, but they should be installed on a new server correctly. Should I test that? Let's make a new server to test the snapshot installation. Stage. Let's remove entirely server 13. Now we're going to create a new server 13. So add localhost 13. What port number? What port numbers do I use? Grep port from config.json up one. So 80, 90. 8190. Add. So this should construct server 13 and install a new snapshot on it. And it's already done. Yep, there we go. It works. So the tickets now are a separate file. And if I wanted to, here's where I could just say, hey, make it a database instead of saving it as a file. And then just remove it from the snapshots. Well, remove the ModQ class entirely. Well, or basically redesign ModQ to be an interface to a database instead. So the snapshots transmitted between servers still need to have all of the database, all the information that you need to reconstruct the database. It's just the format can change now to be the database's format and not my own JSON format if I wanted. And it should be completely encapsulated within that ModQ class. So this deserialize, instead of storing it in memory, it would just tell a database here, restore yourself from this serialization, and then serialize would tell the database, hey, give me a backup copy. I don't know how databases work. You get the idea. This would tell the database, give me a blob that I can use to restore you, and this would say restore you. And then we would only need to call these when we're installing a snapshot. Otherwise, the database handles its own data, and we would just have these be no ops. We would have deserialized be a no op. We're still going to be serializing because we'll want to be prepared to install a new database anywhere at any time. Right? That makes sense. Okay, let me just check this in. Change the current task to be the next thing. Tickets, latest tickets file, new tickets file, loading tickets, saving tickets, loading game state, saving game state. This should just say tickets file, not backup. What line is that on? 1095. Tickets file. Right, so that got put into save game state. And then this shuffle, the file name shuffle, happens. I wonder if I should put that into the function called shuffle files around. Or rotate. Basically, it's rotate or backup old files, or rotate files or something like that. And let me check this one in first. So, in a sense, this is the whole thing, right? We're separating, separate storage of ticket, in-game tickets from the rest of the game data. And restore is two things. So we're going to say update double restore script. Do not blow away snapshot backups, and do restore backup tickets files. And that's the wrong name, isn't it? It should be game.tickets. Let's fix that. Cool. All right. I'm confident about that. Let's push that. And what am I doing next? Am I done? Did that. We're doing that now, and that's being done, and that's also being done, and it's all being done by the main program, right? Because that's all I needed to do. So the server itself, not its host, but the server itself just keeps including it in the snapshots, which it needs to because it needs to install them. The main program now knows that it doesn't need to actually save the tickets with the rest of the game data because eventually it's going to be its own database that doesn't need to be saved. Still in the snapshots so that it can be installed, but it doesn't need to be saved. Makes sense to me. Okay. So I'm done with the plan. Maybe I want to think about the next step, moving it to a database. Oh, no. Yeah, let's add to the plan. Since I finished in half the time I thought it would take. So extra credit. I'll demonstrate the problem I have right now. When I am debugging this and I do reload and I show you guys what happens when we get the tickets, it's a much bigger in the production environment, but you can even see it in the test environment a little bit. See the largest message here, 10 kilobytes? It's a download of the entire ticket system. Like basically the entire ticketing system serialized is just sent over the wire to the GM. That is like over a megabyte right now in the production server, and it's way too big. We don't need to get the entire download of the ticketing system. What I would like it to do is only show me what I can actually see here, especially if I do a filter. Maybe it would just fetch what view I'm seeing. And let's say it does have a scroll bar. As I scroll, it may maybe just load more. Or maybe I would just make it into pages, like a database viewer, where when you hit next page, then it goes back to the database and says, well, give me the advance the cursor and give me the next set of tickets. And wait until I actually go to the screen to do that. Maybe at first when I go to this tab, it would not show me anything until I hit like fetch or query or something. That way it won't get the information unless I actually need to see it. Couple things about that. Right now, it's a subscription model where the GM subscribes to the tickets so that if a player were to like add a new ticket, we would see it show up. I kind of want to keep that, but I don't want it to download the entire ticket. The other thing is we could just get the summary information and then wait until I click into here to get this information, and that would at least reduce it. You tend to see the page method, yeah, in large scale games at least, yeah. So, yeah, I need to think about this. But I think I'm going to take a quick break. It's been 2 hours. I need to get up and stretch anyway. So, I'll take a quick break, like the BRB screen says, about 2 or 3 minutes. I'll be back. All right. See you in a little bit. Hello, I am back. So let me change what I'm doing. Actually, I need to fill this in, right? So the goal is to reduce the amount of data sent to the GM upon subscribing to the ticket system. WB, welcome back. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just updating my screen, my stream helper. Okay, reduce the amount of data sent. So there are a couple problems here, right? So one problem is a client needs to know what to ask the server, what data to ask from the server, right? Depending on the view, right? A server needs to know how to respond to a specific data request from the server, from the client. Yeah, like pagination. So like if the client knows it can only see like 60 issues at a time, it needs to tell the server, yeah, right now there's no filter and we're sorting by type, so give me the first 60 tickets sorted by ID. You know, you can think of it as eventually going to be a database query, right? And so I need to come up with the right way to phrase that. And like, you will either want the summary information or want detailed information about one ticket. But no matter what our view is, I want to also the server needs to know when a change happens that should be reflected to the client. Like if I'm looking at issue 6 and issue 6 is changed, the server should just tell us, hey, there's a change to ticket 6, here it is, and the client would update it right away, right? I don't like polling. I'd rather just have the client tell the server what is its current view and let the server tell us, okay, well, here's the new data. So part of this view, maybe I'll just do this step by step. Let's not do the number of things we could see. So let's not do pages, but at least let's do the part where we're either looking at the summary information or we're looking at the detail. So we can tell the server, give us summary information or give us detailed information about one ticket. And the server would adjust the subscription so that it only notifies us about changes that we'll care about in whatever view we're in. Hold on a second. Approve your name check. I have a ticket open to auto approve it if you logged in through Twitch. Did you do that? Let's see. You did not. So are you one of these people? Let's see who you are. I thought you already had an account, Mr. Muffles. Hold on. The sort by name doesn't really work, does it? The sort by name is broken, actually. I probably had something in there to fix that. Anyway, should be in there now. Hold on. I can't show it because there we go. Now you're unmasked. You don't need to log in with Twitch. It's just when you log into Twitch, there's a little bit more trust I can give you. Because let's say you were to misbehave, like user WV were to misbehave, I'd like no, well, I can go, you know, if this person was a VIP, I could just remove the VIP saying, naughty person, you lost VIP or whatever, ban them. But if it's someone that logged in or made an account not tied to Twitch at all, I have no way of knowing who they are. So if random people create accounts, I tend to keep them masked because I don't know who they are. I don't know if they are trolls or not. But, we know who Mr. Muffles is. If he says that's his account, then we can trust him and unmask him. But yeah, I've been unmasking people who log in through Twitch because I can at least trace them back to a Twitch account, and they're not completely anonymous. Still anonymous, right? But at least they can be held accountable in Twitch. You just requested a new password. Okay. What did you miss so much in the last months? I've been working a lot on the part of the engine that deals with the NPC's AI. So, for example, this George NPC, you can talk to him and he will lead you out of the dungeon and fight for you. In the production server, he's got a few bugs. So in the local test environment, it's a little bit more complete. So, for example, George here knows that he can't reach these slimes because he would have to go all the way around. And he'll still go around to fight some of the slimes that wander up too far here, but otherwise he won't. And I've been putting a lot of debugging tools in place. So, for example, we can see the area that George is searching for enemies, or we can see his normal wandering area. And if he's following a path like he is now, we can see the path that he's following. And a lot of this is done in Lua, so I built in some profiling code. So it generates a little report like this saying this is how long you ran the profiling, and this is the % of real time spent in every Lua function in the game. So I was using that to look for bottlenecks, and I think the next bottleneck for me to work on is the aggro search. It's even though it's not called very often, it's still a significant amount of real time taken out of the total, and I'll probably just port that to C++ and use it at the same time put in some of the suggestions that iGrok and others have been making to clean up and make a better design for how we do the caching of information for path finds and searches. So yeah, a lot of the pathfinding and searching wasn't here a few months ago, so that's pretty new. Can you link the account now? Yeah. You know how to do that? There should be, did I do this? Yeah, I can do this for the local test environment. I won't be leaking anything. So I won't be able to do this in the local test environment, but I'll show you what you would be able to do. So if it's not linked into Twitch, you're logging in with just a traditional password, right? So you go to this tab and you click on this get code, and it gives you a string, and you just paste that into chat, and then the bot that's built into the game will recognize who you are, and that if you put this in on Twitch chat, then it knows how to link your Twitch identity to your in-game identity, and then it gets linked. And then from then on, you could either log in with your password or through Twitch, and then any points you get in the game are converted. See, like what Mr. Muffles did. So now, if I go back to the production environment, it will be linked. There we go, linked. So, see how he has 0 points? If I now give him a point, now he's got 1 point. Oh, the Manir also linked. So let's give you a point. Now you have 2 points. So yeah. I don't want to force people to log in through Twitch. I want them, if they want to, they can log in anonymously, but I can't trust them as much, if that makes sense. Main reason you didn't do Twitch is because you wanted to remove the dev from your name? Yeah, you get to pick a different in-game name. Yeah, it didn't matter. Some people don't have Twitch accounts, they're just viewing, or they're watching this on YouTube. and they can still play the game. They just have to use a password, and I won't be able to trust them as much because they're not associated with any kind of other identity. So yeah. Anyway, going back to this problem, I think what we want to do is when the GM subscribes to the ticketing system, it has to tell the server criteria about what it wants to see. And at first it'll be nothing because we'll be on this tab. But when we flip over to this, we'll update our subscription to say, hey, we want to see summary information about all tickets. And it'll just give us this information we see here. And if anything changes, it'll update that. But if we were to click on to issue 6, it should tell the server, hey, I'm interested in all details about issue 6. And then if anything else changes, like ticket 7, the server wouldn't send anything. But if ticket 6 changed in the details even, it would tell us about it. I haven't been using featured chat as much because I never really got used to the interface and having to either have a tablet in front of me or another window. But it's still open for my moderators, and actually I need to update the list. Anyone who's an admin for me in the featured chat can use it, so feel free if you want to. Go over there to featured chat and... Oh, I've misspelled it. Featured.chat. And let me demonstrate that. So I will go to it myself. Maybe while I'm here, I'll add some admins who are missing. I gotta log in. And then I gotta go to my chat. And then I can take what's on the deck. So someone's already put a couple things on deck. I can just say, oop, yep, now showing. So now you guys all see over to the left there, 715209 said, what happens if someone changes their name? So if you change your name in, well, I guess I should flip back to the production system. If you change your name in the game, you get remasked just because the name might be inappropriate. Right now, that's just the default. And you can change your name like once every month or something like that. If you change your name in Twitch, the next time you log in, it should update it because it looks up. It actually doesn't store by name; it stores by Twitch ID, which doesn't change. So the name will be updated as soon as it looks you up again, and the only time it looks you up really is if you say something in chat, if you log in with Twitch, or if you log in and I think if you log in without Twitch, if you're linked to a Twitch account, it looks up and sees if your name changed. So it could lag a little bit if you lurk in chat and you don't log in through Twitch or you don't log into the game at all, the name might be old because it's not constantly asking Twitch, did these names change? So yeah, we got some more people who have logged in through Twitch, so let me unmask you. There you go. Be nice. While I'm doing this, these tickets I can auto-close. I've been meaning to just have a way to auto-close these ones. Actually, if I wanted to make it now, if you log in, if you create an account through Twitch, it should just trust you, and it should start out by trusting you. It should be optimistic about how about your behavior, right? Because you have linked it to Twitch. These other ones, though, I mean, people could create accounts and with just gibberish names or troll names, and we don't want it to show up in the game. So yeah. Someone put this on deck too. Can I link the account now? Yes, we already did that. That's a little old, I think. Yeah. Anyway, that's what featured chat is. And well, actually, while I'm here, do I want to add any administrators who aren't in here? Actually, it looks like I updated the list, so we're good. Oh, I am missing one person. I'll do it later. I don't know the spelling. Anyway. Back to this problem. So, this is going to be a lot of back-end work, actually. Am I planning to move to a full relational database or writing the logic to filter the tickets? I think I'm going to be moving to a full relational database at some point. So I want to keep that in mind when I'm designing this part, like where I'm telling the server what criteria I care about. Does it include VIPs? Some VIPs. The VIPs that are, so the very, very important people. But not everyone. So let's see. We're done with this. I can just close it all. We're starting from a sort of a blank slate right now, right? Yeah, so about the relational database, when I'm designing like what criteria the client cares about, I should probably keep in mind that it's eventually going to go to a relational database, so I should try to keep it relatively simple to turn into a database query of some kind, right? I haven't worked with databases in years, and so I don't know all of the things I should be doing, but I can make a guess in the right direction, I hope. Like, you guys would tell me if I did it wrong, right? One thing I'm not sure, for example, how to do is how to tell the database to let me know if something changed from my original query. Or do I need to ask the database again? Or do I need to do it locally in the server? Like, does it need to know that something, whenever it updates the database, could it have affected another subscription? So I don't know exactly how to do that with databases yet. Okay. Test. This is ModQ tests, right? What do I have in ModQ tests right now? What is this stop after first? I forgot I did that. Interesting. So I had a with all so to iterate through the ticketing system. I forgot I did that. So none of this affects the subscription system. Is that because I put subs in a different place? It looks like I did. Maybe fire events on update. That's what it does now anyway. So like this, ticket update announced. The act is that we added something to a ticket, and the assertion is that the GM got a ticket update back. So that's the event is ticket update, and it's triggered by the command that this turns into. I wonder why I did it this way. This is sort of hiding the fact that it's going to be a certain kind of command. I don't know why I did it this way. This is sort of silly. This ticket add note, right? It becomes a certain kind of command in the game. Let's find out where it is. Yeah, so it's going to be a update mod event executed. So here's where it gets sent to subscribers, right? When an update mod event is executed, we do an announce ticket change. And that goes to all subscribers and tells them that, hey, the ticket just got changed by someone. Does it work the same way? So essentially the executor would go to a database and tell the database to update, but then this machinery would still be in place so that this command would still be there, and we would know that it got executed by telling a database to update, but we still know what we told the database to do, and so we would still be able to tell our subscribers that. So maybe I wouldn't have to use that, but that's interesting that you're saying that there's a trigger statement? Just broadcasting a change message at the application level? Yeah, so let me put that in the notebook, because I want to look that up later. I'll give you a point for that. But yeah, you're probably right. Of course, iGrok is usually right. We should not doubt iGrok. All right. 50 points. Woot! You can now buy the crystal sword of monster slaying or something. All right. What to attack first here? Probably what we should do is when we first subscribe, it should not tell us anything. This I feel like I should break this test up. Like, this is all subscription systems. Maybe I should have tests just for the ticketing system. Hey, Lupo. How are you doing? I should be updating my current task. Because you're asking me what's up. So, I just worked on this redesigning the ticket system serialization. So, the game I'm working on here, it saves its state to disk. It used to be one file called game snapshot, and I worked today to split this ticketing system out to a separate file with the objective that eventually this file is going to be replaced by a real database of some kind. So I'm not ready to do the database stuff yet. So I decided, now that I got this split out, which was the original goal for today, with the time I got left for the day, with like another hour and a half, I'm going to work on improving the way the information is fed to the client. So this is the in the game master's view, all the tickets in game, right? And if I click any one, I get details about it. Right now, all the database is essentially given to the client right away. It's like the server says, "Here, you take the database, you figure it out." And I want to change it to be more of the client saying to the server what it wants to see right now. So right now it would say, "Just give me summary information about all the tickets." And if I clicked on the 20, it would say, "Just give me all the details about 20 and nothing else." So I'm working on that right now. So let's put this into short words. Improving the design for how in-game ticket info is given to the GM. Does that fit on my screen? Hey, thank you for the follow. Tree Stomp. Let's find out where this is done. This is config change, version change. There we go. Ticket subscriber gets initial tickets. I'm going to take the opportunity to put underscores here because I've been doing that. Yeah, and then same thing with update, announced, remove announced, new issue ticket announced, new player ticket announced. And these are, okay, here's another ticket. I kind of want to put this into its own file. Why don't I just do that? Thank you for the follow, Gone Fishing. I like your name. I'm just going to make another subfolder called subs. And I'm going to start with moving this file in there. So when I do that, I got to change the build system. So that's here. Where do I have subs? Right there. So I'm just going to say it's under a subdirectory called subs now. Sure. And then that alone should be okay. Do I want to change the namespace here? I kind of do. Would I have... I don't have any common setups. I don't really have to worry about that, do I? How does this look like here? Yeah, it's unit testing. I try to do test-driven development. You use Google Test. And it shows up here. But the tests for publish, subscribe with the game are very numerous here. And there are different subscription systems in the game. And I want to just focus today on the ticket system. So these names are kind of long. Can I shorten them? Does it really matter that they're in the coordinator, or could I just rename this subs tests? I think I will deprecate this coordinator test string because it's not really adding much. All these other names, they're clear to me what part of the game they're in, right? Coordinator really needs to be broken up anyway, so I shouldn't keep using that name. Let's just call it subs. And this particular one we'll call legacy. Subs legacy. So replacing the string everywhere to subs legacy. In fact, I'm going to rename the file legacy. And going to here and call it legacy. This should just build, and it should still work, but it should show up in a new category now. Oh, right. It won't find its include file because it's one more level up. Not a problem. Oh, is that because of that? Yeah, so that's coordinator tests common, right? Hope I got the name right. Okay, then what's the problem now? No, I didn't get the name right. Okay, what is the name? Coordinator tests common. Wait a minute, that's what it was, right? That is, hold on. Oh, I didn't misspelled it. That's what it was. Misspelled the name coordinator. Building. So what I'll do is I'll leave these legacy tests fine. Here they are, subs legacy, and I'm going to move out the ones that have to do with the ticketing system into their own file. So let's set up another file. Call it subs tickets. And you know what I'll do is I'll just go to that legacy file and copy paste it and call it tickets. And this will be tickets. I should go to this one called legacy. This module contains the unit tests of the coordinator class that have to do with client subscriptions, server state changes. How do we want to modify this? How about contains the the collection of unsorted? Standard vector on pushback reallocates memory. Yeah, right, if reserve hasn't been called on it. It may or may not. Some implementations of pushback will reallocate more memory than you need, with the assumption that you're going to call pushback again and again. And so it might be that sometimes when you call pushback, it'll reallocate memory. Other times it won't because it actually allocated more memory than it needed. Depends on the implementation. But yeah, you're right. If you call reserve first, then a pushback might not reallocate memory because it already allocated it. So there's a bit of abstraction. You can't always assume pushback will or will not allocate memory. It depends on other things. Yeah. Because it depends on what you're doing. If you're calling pushback in a loop, then I think the theory is that if they allocate, what is it? Reallocate memory every time you get to the limit, allocate that times 1.5. That's the most efficient. CM Griffing, thank you for the raid. Welcome. Oh, how did that message get deleted? Someone deleted that. Who did it? Sorry, Oblivioner. I didn't hit any button. Oh, did you delete someone's message by accident? Sorry, Oblivioner. Here, that's what Oblivioner said. Tomb Raid. So welcome. Thank you for the raid again, CM Griffin. By the way, you see that chat overlay up there? Above the current task? That was made by CM Griffin. You should check out his stream. He works on that overlay and the marketing site for it and a bunch of other things that are web dev. CM Griffin is basically the guy you should go to if you have any kind of question about Angular, React, Vue, or any other technology that I don't know how to say the name of that has to do with the web. I mean, he practically knows it all. So you should definitely check out his stream. He also has a gaming stream. It's cool to hang out at. So hello, Oblivioner and CM Griffin. I will wave to you And now everyone has been waived too. Now you, well, no, he said Tomb Raid, and somehow it got deleted by accident. I didn't want to name names. Hey there, Cthulhu. How are you doing? Yeah, like above my head where it says, right now I'm trying to improve the design of how the in-game ticket system information is sent to the client in my game. So this is the in-game ticketing system as seen from the game master's point of view. So it's basically every ticket in the game. And right now, the entire database is sent to the client right away, which is okay for a small game just starting, but at a certain point, you have to be more efficient. So I'm looking to change this to be like, at first, you don't get anything because you're not even looking at the tickets. And then when you flip to the tickets pane, it should ask the server, okay, give me summary information about, I don't know, 1 page worth of tickets or something like that, right? And then if I click on a ticket, it should go back to the server and say, give me all the information about tickets number 6. So that's what I'm looking to do right now. But I'm cleaning up my test first because this test file was 3,400 and something lines long. And it's too unwieldy. So I've split out the parts of the test that don't have to do with tickets. I'm putting them in this thing called Legacy. I don't know why this says it won't compile. It should. And then tickets will be, this module contains the unit tests so that have to do with subscriptions to server in-game ticketing system state changes. And this will be namespace subs, but then the struct will be subs tickets. And then I'm going to go through here and delete all the ones that don't have anything to do with the ticketing system. So cluster state, all these. What's the first one that has to do with the ticketing system? This one, right? So keep that one. These ones, get rid of this one. All of these. Keep that one. Actually, that's subscribing to players, right? Yeah, so we don't want that one. This one I do want to keep, right? Yeah. What's this one subscribe to? Players. And tickets. I'll leave that one in Legacy for now. Why it won't compile is a greeting method in your office. That's a good one, Manir. Why won't it compile? Oh, hello there. Let me Google this pushback. Yeah, yeah, you were asking before about does pushback allocate memory? Sometimes not. List, not important right now. Let's see, none of this is. Actually, probably the rest of them aren't, right? Actually, there's an easy way I can check this, right? I can just take these 7 tests out of Legacy. So take this one out. And the next one, that's 3 and 4 and 5. New ticket announced. No, this one. Oh, did I remove that already? I did. Okay, then this one also. And that one, right? Now I can just look for subscribe to tickets in this file. Okay, so this one is a special case. I'll get to that later. These ones, though, have been separated out to their own thing. Let me make sure this actually builds. And then I can just focus on updating these tests and then adding more. Right. Okay, so it built. And this should show under subs, there's the legacy ones, and then there's just the ones that have to do with the tickets. So right now they'll all pass, and now here's where I'm going to go change the test requirements. So, actually, before I do that, these ones don't have neat little underscores to make them easier to read, so I'm going to go do that right now. Boom. And I should probably just commit this as one change in Git, and then move to the next thing, right? Underscores, yay! They make it easier to read. So split subs tests into, well, split out ticket related subtests into their own file. Sure. All right. These all pass. So this one, ticket subscriber gets initial tickets. We don't want that anymore, right? We actually want to split this into 2 tests. I don't want it to get the list of tickets until we ask for it. So the first thing will be ticket subscriber gets nothing at first. What about the dashes? The dashes, the underscores, the bleeps, the creeps. It's a Spaceballs reference. Or was that an airplane reference? Or maybe it was both. Chris would know. Okay. Some initial ticket content. Okay, so this is just one ticket then. Yeah, we just have one sample ticket. We subscribe to tickets and we should not get anything, right? Or actually, we should get something and have it be empty, right? There we go. Updated the test. Now, when we ask for something, I think I want to make it, we can ask for 2 things just to start out with. One, we'll ask for the summary information for all tickets, and then we'll ask for all information about a specific ticket. So the summary information would include what? Everything but the history, I guess. Really, this doesn't reflect a real ticket, does it? I need a real ticket. I need, let's steal from another test where we have a real ticket. None of these are real tickets. What if I search for category? Does category even show up here? No, it doesn't. Description. What if I search for that? Go through one of these. Not that, but one of these. Oh, here's a nice one. What will be special about this game? Good question. So, in my overview about the game, I like to call them hooks. Ways in which the game will stand out, be unique, get noticed, question mark, question mark, question mark, be successful. These are the 2 things I've started with that I'm still a ways away from doing this, right? I'm still working on the engine, but once I get the engine in place, one thing I would like to do as I'm building up the game is to have the UI change when you move from one part of the game to another. And there are a couple other games that do this, but not many. So I kind of want to have like break the 4th wall in a sense. That let's say you are going through the world and you happen to find a special artifact that transports you to a special kind of world. This entire view would maybe change to a hex grid instead of a normal grid, right? I don't know about nostalgia being a hook. It's more I'm making a game based off of nostalgia, games I played when I was a kid. But I didn't want to make that the reason, because there are other retro nostalgic games out there too. I wanted to pick things that are different from them. So one of them was make the UI different from place to place, and then the other one was I wanted to tie it heavily into the Twitch stream, because I'm tying in making the game with Twitch, right? So live events, in-game rewards, streaming the game, like working on the game live while I'm streaming. So that lets you see me actually build it live, so that there aren't many games that actually do that. Most games out there, people work on them in secret, and then once it's done, they kind of release it, and then you see the whole game, and you weren't there when the game was made. Does Heroes of Might and Magic count as a UI change? I don't know. A hex grid. Oh, Rally Monkey. 15 months? My goodness. Thank you, Rally Monkey. Thank you for your support. A hex grid. You never seen a hex grid? Let me give you an example. Hex. Where did I have a reference to this? Was it here? It was related to this A-star pathfinding room. This A-star pathfinding, the blog has a nice one about hex grid. Hexagons. Hex grid looks like one of these. Which one of these was the nice one? One of these blogs was the good blog. I just can't remember which one it was. The intro to it. Maybe it was this one. Nope. Anywhere, it's here somewhere, and that's what I mean by hex grid. Used to play a network playable game in school in Max that was about warriors walking in a forest slaying NPCs. Can't figure out for the life of you what it's called. It could be Ultima Online. It could also could it have been Tales of Maj Ayal? Tome? This one? Top-down tactical RPG? Where's the screenshot? I guess under images we'd find that, right? Maybe not. If I type that in, though. Images. There you go. Does that strike a bell? So it's a similar grid-based thing. It's turn-based. They have a mini-map and other things in it. It's a pretty cool game. It's a more pretty version of the kind of game I'm making. Needs to be a screenshots option instead of just images. Yeah, that would be cool. But anyway, that's what I mean by hex grid. So you might walk from one area of my game to another, and it might go from this traditional grid to a hex grid, and that would just be something unique and special about that area of the game. You could also imagine going from strict top-down 2D like this to maybe there's a 3D part of the world. Who knows? It all depends on how much work I'm willing to put into it, I guess. I mean, this would work, right? Let's pull this one to here. Up here. Yeah, so let's put that there. Ticket subscriber. Let's call this get summary information. How's the stream gone so far? Okay. I am working on more difficult things. I'm taking a side trip from speeding up NPC AI, so today I was migrating the ticket system. So I got it all separated now. Instead of all the game state being in one file, it's now in 2 files. So it's a step in migrating this. The game's in-game ticketing system is going to eventually be in a relational database. So I made the first step in actually stripping it out of the normal game state. It's in its own file still, but you can imagine that file would go away and be replaced by a database eventually. That's what I did for the first half. In the second half, I'm just working on refining how the system works for getting the ticket information so that it's not a huge download to the client every time we connect. Here's a Might and Magic has a hex grid. Yeah, a lot of games have hex grid. What was it? I can't remember it. But real-time strategy games sometimes are using hex grids. Dungeons and Dragons sometimes uses hex grids. It would be cool to have a world editor tool, not the browser thing. You mean offline world editor? Because my goal right now is that the world editor be cool enough in the browser. Get summary information. I don't think this matters, so I'm just going to put 42. Actually, that was so that I could... okay, so that actually is important. It should be test player ID, right? Whatever this sets up. Test user ID, okay. I just ruined my clipboard. There we go. Timestamp. Does it matter what I put the time here? No. Let's put 42.3. You saw what I did there? I don't know what I did. Who ID? What is this? I should probably just refer to what I copied from, right? Here. Oh, I copied from the main game. Okay, that's why. So this is just a different player. I guess we should flag ourselves. Actually, I have 2 test users, right? This was test user ID 2. We can just do that. I forget how that works. The reporter, okay, that who matches the reporter. Oh, that's who made the change. So who created the ticket? The reporter created the ticket. Who is it about? This who. Okay, a little strange that I have who in both places. Category. I don't know. Griefing. Description. That guy was a jerk. So this is an example of an in-game ticket that is created if someone is reporting someone else for griefing or, I don't know, being a jerk. So, do I need this thing? What's expand ticket usernames mean? What is this doing? Oh, it turns the numbers into names. Okay, so I do need that. That's what's reported to the GM. Okay, so does the current time matter? I don't think it does. So we add the ticket to the database. We get what should be reported out to the GM if it was a full ticket. Mobilize and connect. We subscribe, so that's part of the setup, right? And then we need to send another message, I guess. It would be, I want to make this more generic, right? So maybe set ticket cursor. Set tickets cursor. I'm using the word cursor because that's data. I remember that from when I was working with databases. It's like your selection into the database, what you care about. I think. Reporter, a reportee is a word. Is reportee a word? Did I misspell it? I don't think it's a word. That's correct. So it would be called a cursor. So what do we want to say here? Query or something? Cursor query. Cursor is a position in results, right? This is really query, isn't it? And let's keep this simple for now, and we'll just call this summary. Summary or details, right? So get summary information. So let's call this get ticket summary. And then what we should get back is a bunch of tickets, but it should not be this whole thing. It should be a subset of this, right? It should be what I want to see in the view here. So the ID is where? Oh, right there. Did I split it up like that? I mean, I guess that's fine. So what's in the ticket? Type state. Do I care about version? I don't think I care about the version. Or maybe I do, because, yeah, then it's easier for the client to know if it changed, if it's reported again. Yeah, let's keep the version number in there. State, yes. Reporter assignee. I'm not actually using that right now. Locked or not? Yeah, we need that because sometimes we can lock them, right? That shows up in this status column. If I were to lock it, it shows up there with a lock icon. History, no. So history is removed. So I think it's just the history that we won't see. Yeah, so it would, let's remove the history then. So this is external ticket content remove. Why did it tab like that? History. That's what we should get back, right? We should get back everything but the history. That's good enough for now. Let's do it. Use a lot of cursor objects in Android, contains the data in that row. Yeah, it's like getting you a part of the results, right? Okay, so these tests are gonna fail. Let's fix them one by one. So this one is saying it should get nothing, and it's getting everything. So let's change that. Need to find out where this is done. I'm gonna search for the string tickets. This looks promising. Send player tickets. Or is it here in subs? Make tickets message. Probably this one. Send tickets. There we go. Unsubscribe will send the tickets. So I think what I want to do is in addition to this flag, I want to keep their query, their current query. So I guess I'll store it here. Why not? We'll just keep it simple right now, make it a string, query. Yeah, why not? We'll change it later. So this keeps track of what, oops, I can't spell today. What information about the in-game ticket system the client wants to know about. I said about twice. All right. Let's make that specific to query, to tickets. Tickets query. All right, so that, let's clear it from here. I should have pinned that. Right, so when they subscribe, we're going to clear it out. And then send tickets, which calls make tickets message. This should only do this if there's a query. If, actually, why don't we just say if, oh, this doesn't know which client. We need to tell it which client, don't we? So that client needs to be included with send tickets. And so I'm going to do that. Send tickets gets the client. Hi, Cthulhu. Are you back again, or are you leaving? Switch from phone to PC. Does that require a separate wave? I'll give you a separate wave. You deserve a separate wave. And I forgot to wave to Rally Monkey, too. And I didn't see a whole bunch of his chat. Is everything still in JSON? Yeah, right now it is. Did he get a haircut? Yeah, Mrs. Rainbow cut my hair. You're gonna start calling me a hippie? You can't now, because I got a haircut. Ha 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 ha. Did I miss anything else? My nose is itchy. Don't think I missed anything else. Feel free to tag me if you think I'm missing something. All right. All these places need a client. Ooh, that's the type of client. So that goes here, right? This needs to know the client. All right. Actually, I think that other place I saw, the get, where was it? Get tickets, I think is obsolete. I don't think this actually is done anymore. Get tickets. Yeah, it's never used. I could just remove this right now. I don't even have a test for it. No, I do have a test for it. It's right here. Admin download ticket list. I'm just gonna remove this. I'm gonna say we don't need this anymore. There we go. Gone. Is that a snowman on fire? Haha, this is fine. This is fine. Or maybe it's fire snow. Okay, so I don't need this get tickets. It is gone. Let me think about this. Yeah, okay, back to this. Send tickets, yes. Where it's declared, I need to add this new parameter. Client. Does it need to be mutable? I don't think so. Let's make it non-immutable. Client. Oops. Hey there, Red Sky 1. Raimu swag. What emote should go with Raimu swag? This is the this holds information about the client to be given information about the in-game tickets. He might be naive, in denial, but he has a terribly positive attitude. Well, that's a good thing, right? Get tickets check is not in moderation. I don't know. Oh, right. We got rid of this. Goodbye. Okay, that's good. And that's mutable because it's following a pattern of where it might need to be mutable. This one is const. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing for make tickets message. That also needs this extra parameter. Go down to here and grab it. There we go. Cool. So that goes there. That's a little bit too long, so I'm going to wrap it. I'll do the same thing here, why not? Okay, now that it has it, we can make use of it. We can see if client dot tickets query. Let's just start off with making one test pass. If it's not empty, then include all this information. There we go. So that should make one of our tests pass. The one about that initially gets nothing at first. Oh, what happened to it? It got moved. Here it is. Cool. Now to pass the other one. The other one is failing because it doesn't get anything even though it asked for it. So there are two aspects to this, right? It subscribes and then it does a query. Actually, and I need to clear... This is going to cause something to be sent, right? So the first part of this, where we do that thing, we need to do that. And then we have to clear the received messages. Reset message handler, or message receiver. Where do I do this elsewhere? Is it synchronous so I don't have to do this wait? I don't remember all these things. I can't remember if message handling is synchronous or asynchronous. Huh. Does that actually... Oh, that does do a wait. So I don't need to... so it included that. All right, so I can just do that. So subscribe, and then this basically says just discard anything we received as a result of that, right? Then we send this message, and then we should get something back. And it should be everything we asked for. And it won't be yet, because I haven't done it. Okay, I got 45 minutes, and it's a very strict cutoff today, because I got somewhere I have to be. Is the today command different now because I'm on extra credit? I'm on extra credit right now. I did do all that work with the in-game ticket system. Let's change the command. Let's do edit today. Raimu is working on, let's say, improving his in-game ticket system. There we go. Should I change it here too? Nah, I'll leave it the way it is. We're on extra credit right now. Run that test. Right, we didn't get any message back. We want to get a message back when we set the query. So that's a new command. So I need to go to here and add it. And actually, I need to think about a normal user query too, right? How does a normal user get their tickets? Oh, get my tickets. That's what it's called. Okay. Okay, I'll have to fix that later because that's the same kind of thing, right? Ah, shoot. Maybe we should allow subscribing to tickets. Subscribe to tickets. Where is that? That should be allowed by anyone, not just admins. Where's subscribe to tickets? Yeah, so that's right now an admin only thing. Maybe we should just make this, everyone can do this. But non-admins can only see their own tickets. I'll do that later. I'll just work on the admin side right now. Because I'm gonna run out of time if I try to do too many things. So this is just changing the query of a subscription right now. So that means actually, why did I have this admin message handlers separate from this? Oh, because these don't result in any commands. These result in commands being done. Right, so I would add it up here then. Set, so that alphabetically goes here, right? And then on set tickets query, and that should go to subs. So like near this guy, I guess. Let's try to keep it alphabetical, I guess. Right here. Follows the same general formula. Function is called when the client sends the sub. Oh, I'm doing the wrong one. That. Set tickets query message. All right. And then wherever that one is, we'll put the new one above it. So here it is. Actually, I'm wondering, do I need a separate message? Because this thing just does that, and can we just include the query in the original subscription? How do we break a subscription right now? We can't. I'll need to have that though. Actually, the equivalent would be to just clear the query, right? Yeah, do I even need this flag here? If I have that, maybe I don't even need that. So what if I combine these two? Going back to the tests, right? Let's say ticket. Ticket. Let's just turn this around. Subscribe. Well, I guess we can keep it calling it subscribe to tickets. So subscribe to tickets, no query. And that would be like unsubscribing. No, I don't like this. What if we call it set ticket subscription? No query. So rename this to set ticket subscription. Actually, what if I just search for this whole game wide and just change it? Yeah, let's just change it to set ticket subscription. Actually, I should probably make it not whole word only. Yeah. Changes it everywhere. Yep, that's what I want. Rename it everywhere. Wahaha. So I guess if we'll say if the query is missing. Or empty. We should just always include it, right? So let's search for that again. I won't update that one yet. Actually, well, I should do that. I should do that. We'll have the query there, but empty. And then here we should have a query empty, right? Player restored announced. What do we care about for this one? About their tickets? I don't know. I think what I eventually just want it to be query summary. Actually, why am I including that? Oh, I remember why. Because this recreates tickets. Right. That's why I wanted that there. Actually, I'm going to want that line in a few more places. Normally type today, I beat you to it. Really was 715-209, and then when he typed it, I'm like, oh, that's old. I need to fix it. Okay, yeah, so here, no query. And then this one is summary. And I don't know. For now I'll put summary for all of these. But eventually I'm going to want to have it show the detail as well, right? I don't know if I'm going to make more tests for that or not. All right, it's done. So that means I can get rid of the message I was in the process of adding this set tickets query. I can just get rid of it. Don't need it. Goodbye. Code I just added. And then, yeah, so actually, that's just this, right? And I don't have that. And let's update the name here. This should be summary. Set ticket subscription summary. Or to summary. Or query summary. Right, so then we should get back the summary information. All right, and make sure I didn't break anything. And then I need to change the actual message to actually store the query rather than clearing it. Okay. All right, so it's not broken. It's just this doesn't actually give us anything. We get a message back, but the tickets are missing the summary information about the ticket. So that's on set this one. While I'm at it, since I renamed it, it's probably out of order. Yeah, so let's move it. Set ticket. And then, yeah, let's put it in the correct place. On set goes probably at the top, alphabetically, near the top. Right there. Okay. So instead of clearing it, what I want to do is assign it, right? Do I need to? I don't think I actually need to do that. I can just assign it directly from message query. I think we can do that because this is a string. Okay, and then the magic is all in the send, is in this make tickets message, right? So really I just need to support the summary right now, right? So if it equals summary, then with all tickets, actually, I wonder if this could do the work. Yeah, maybe. So instead of well, not instead of hold on. Yeah, where is this used? I see. Well, yeah, we want to include the query there too, don't we? Yeah. So I'll have to update a bunch of things. Change announcement. Well, yeah. Hmm. Nude. Yeah, all of these will need to change, right? Because how we announce it and whether we announce it at all actually depends on the query. Yep. Okay, so really this name should just be renamed. The same number of results whether or not I do match whole word. Okay, so it should be like not expand the ticket usernames. It's doing more than that. It's like it's applying a query, right? Apply ticket query. There, I did it. I did it even in the tests, which I didn't have to do, but that's okay. So everywhere we actually call it, this shouldn't break anything. Everywhere I actually call it, I need to include the query. And the query comes from the client, and the client isn't given, so send player tickets and a bunch of other things needed to be given. I guess I will start by modifying this. Why do I have two of them, though? Oh. This should have the old name. This should have the query in it. Okay, so I need the old name. What was that old name? Line 830 something? Expand ticket usernames. All right. So I'm going to, this is expand ticket usernames, but that's applying the query. So we're going to include the client in here. Const client record. Client. That's what we want, right? Client record. Yep, it has this in here. And I'm going to remove that flag too. All right. And I'm going to change this subject here. Hey there, Tua Bud. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Oh, 10 months. Oh my goodness. That's 1 with a 0. Thank you for your support, Tua Bud. That's a long time. Have I really been streaming more than 10 months? What the heck? Sometimes I feel it's going to be another 10 times 10 months before I'm actually done. Thank you for all your many months of support. 1 with a 0, I know. It's 2 digits. Double digit per subscription. My goodness. All right, this... I've done this before. Where did I do it last? Very recently. Come on, memory. I forget. You marvel that I can do that? It's like any kind of job. You just have to stick to it if it's something you care about. I'll just write this from scratch. This holds information about the client. This holds information about. Do I want to actually put the whole client, or do I just want to put the query in there? Really, it should just be what we need, and that should just be the query, right? Yeah. So let's just put the query in there. In the future, it's not going to be a string. What if I make it a special type? Tickets query. Query. Ticket query. This holds information about what the client. What? It's not necessarily even a client, right? About what is being requested about an in-game ticket. Excuse me. Whoa, what happened there? What'd I do? Why am I so big? What happened to my camera? Did I hit? Hold on. My camera got really huge for some reason. What happened there? Does Control S in OBS do something like that? That's really wacky. I think my camera was around that big, but now the aspect ratio is all different. How do I tell it to reset the aspect ratio? Ramu Giant. Yeah, that was really weird. Did it transform? I don't know how to fix this. How about just reset? Interesting. Okay, I messed it up now. Okay. Yeah, okay. Make it the right size and I'll just put it in the right spot. I have no idea how I did that. But we're all good. Nothing's broken completely. There, fixed it. Full screen Raimu. Yeah, what was that? Okay, if it's an OBS, if I hit Control S, it makes it really big. Why have something like that? Humongous. I'll just see what I was doing there. So transform reset and put it over. There we go. Even when it's locked, if you hit Control, what is that? Why is Control S making my camera really huge? You can see my gray hair that way. That's right. I don't want to show you. Don't want you to see my gray hair. Oh, it's stretched to screen. It does it even when it's locked. Well, that sounds like a bug to me. Well, now I know. If I'm on OBS and I click on my camera and hit Control S, it's going to stretch it to the whole screen. Now, how OBS got the cursor anyway in the first place, I don't know. Hold on, wait a minute. Is this scrunched? No. Looks okay. Move myself around a little bit. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. Okay, so I'm going to just say this is in general. Apply the given ticket query to And what is this? Oh, was this reused in other places? Okay, this might be a problem. Let me search for this. No, it's only used in moderation, so yeah. Um, I thought I might have been using it in other places, but I guess not. It's only being used in tickets. Okay. See, that camera full size trick is just to call out MS, and so I can say, "Hi, you are no longer lurked because I made you laugh." Okay. Apply the given ticket query. Apply the given query to the given in-game ticket to produce the information to report for the ticket. That's exactly what I want it to be. And that I want to make define where? Coordinator's internal header file? Impl? Right here? Where is this actually? Coordinator subs. So I'll put it in coordinator, the header file. So let's go where this is declared. Yeah, right here. There we go. So using, that is a string right now. This type is used to hold all information on what is being requested in a fetch of data from the in-game ticketing system. Actually, I need it to be more than a string because if it's asking for information about a specific ticket, it'll have the ticket number in it. So let's make it a JSON value. Do I even need it? I can just call it JSON value. It's not going to change. No, it might change to be something else in the future, maybe, if it is going to a real database. Okay. Okay, I'm lost. Not lost. All right, so I'm going to want to include that here too, right? So const ticket query, well, yeah, query. Because we're passing it to this guy. And here too. Ticket ID should be first though, right? Let's just put it there. Query. Breaking quite a few things today, aren't I? Query, comma. Okay, we have the query within here, so it's client dot tickets query. I need to go back here and make that the right type. Okay, getting there. This one is actually this one. This one has the new argument added. All right, getting there. Okay, so this the single, right? So this really should have been. Oh wait, is this recursive? They're prop elements. You know, I have a feeling that I changed the cutoff for my camera. Now it's lower. What's happening? I'm huge. I accidentally messed up my camera, and let's fix it again. I found out that Control S when OBS has the focus, and my camera is selected, it goes full screen. Reset transform. Yeah, I need to work on that cutoff. Restore what it was. Big again, yeah. Well, I guess now you'll see down to here. I think the bounds were before, like, oh yeah, it's going too high, isn't it? I think I had it cut off here for some reason. I don't remember why. Actually, it's fine. It's probably fine the way it is, right? If anything, I could just adjust my camera up a little bit. What's happening today? Yeah, I'm working on the ticketing system for my game. So early on, I split out the way data is saved for my game in the back end into two files. The objective is the tickets in the game will end up going to a separate place. Long term, it'll be a database. Whereas this is the state managed by the cluster. And I finished with that. And so the extra credit for today is to go and when oh, that's interesting. I broke it. Oh, I broke the front end. Yeah. Instead of downloading the entire database when we go to this panel, it's only going to fetch what we want to see at once. Hey there, Crumpet. I only got 15 minutes left. I'm probably not going to finish this, but we'll get as far as I can. So I'm going through all the code where we're messing with the in-game ticketing system, and we're applying a query. So the first query that I'm putting into place is whether we're looking at all the tickets as a summary or just all the details about one ticket. 28,000? No. Where are you seeing 28,000? I think we only have like in the real game. How many do I have? $735. How many tickets we got? Still kind of impressive. We're closer to 1,000 than we are to 500, right? Or no? Getting up there, but not closer to 1,000 than 500. What was this doing here? If it's not a key to expand, then why am I... Is that just because it's recursive? Oh, yeah, okay, so this does need to have the query in it because it's recursive. Okay, well, then this name gets changed back again then. And there it goes. Yeah, most of them are for player name things. I'd say like maybe less than 100 are actual in-game issues. Okay. So I need to update this, right? It says value unchanged, but really it's... Hold on. Am I understanding this correctly? Oh, if it's a normal string, it will apply. It will be okay. Yeah, this is gonna take more work. This is my job, P. PTEV. PTEV. Yeah, my job right now is to try to make a game live on Twitch from scratch. Yeah, Cthulhu's got a very challenging schedule. Yeah. The thing is, these functions call each other in a weird way. Like this is not even correct right now. What's my goal? Well, how best to explain that? I guess we would say my goal is to make this game that I'm working on. You could also look at my notes and say, why am I doing this? It's for all of these reasons. So I started streaming while I still had a job last year, and I was doing it for these reasons. To get connected with the community, to stay motivated, to help get better organized, and to get more feedback, right? But then got laid off from my last job and decided I'm going to take the opportunity to try to do something I've always wanted to do, which is to make my own game based off of an old game that I played when I was a kid. So the stream kind of morphed into this thing, like what is the game I'm trying to make, and then what its style is, and so the idea would be to make it online and to, if it's successful, to make money off of it. But if not, it's just satisfying a lifelong goal, and it's independent of my job. So trying to make it my job, but if it doesn't end up paying any money, then it's going to have to be independent. I'll still do this, but it won't be what my job is anymore. Freeze the golem? What is that? Ice cold golem. I don't have a Patreon. I don't really ask for money. I'm doing this for myself and for you. The support for financial support will be once I have enough of a game that people would want to play it. And then I don't know if I do Patreon or not, maybe as part of the marketing, but right now I'm not close enough to do that. I'm still working on the game engine itself. If you log in and look at the game, there's not much there. Most of the content so far is in this test area. There's really not enough to play, so I can't really ask anyone to pay me anything. So it's all free right now until I get more. Once I get enough stuff into the game and make it so where people will want to play it, I'll try to monetize parts of it. I still kind of want it to be free enough for you can check it out and see if it's something that you care about, that you'd have fun playing, and if so, maybe to go deeper into the game, maybe you'd pay something. But I'm nowhere near that yet. So right now it's just living off of savings, and I'm married, so my wife has a job, and I kind of think about this as I'm trying to build a new company, and this is still the investment phase, or the initial phase of the new company where you're not making any income yet. It's all investment, and hopefully it's not completely wasted. All right. I really want to fix these descriptions, but I can't have the same description. What's the difference between these two? This one works on a ticket. Okay, this is a ticket or a piece of a ticket. Apply the given... No, it's a whole ticket, isn't it? This needs to be redesigned because I'm asking it to do two different things now. It used to just expand user IDs into names. Now it's doing that, plus it's also going to filter out information, right? Yeah. So let me back up. Let me put this back to the way it was before. It was this name. Expand ticket. How come I can't select out of that? I'll just type it. Ticket usernames. I'll just put it back to the way it was, and maybe I'll have another function to do the application. Apply ticket query, right? Yeah, so we'll have I'll basically copy this called apply ticket query. And this is for, so this wouldn't need a query. This is just doing the expansion only. And so this diff goes away, right? I do that by going to the git lens, right? And it always loses my place. I want to be on line 834. Dang it. Yes. So take that, revert selected range. There we go. So we're just adding a new function essentially. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. We're adding a new function which takes a query, and then it's going to call that, but it's also going to filter out information. Yeah, exactly. So that goes here. And I got 5 minutes left. Maybe I should wrap things up and finish this tomorrow. Where are there dots in the code? That is from the preferences. It's called render whitespace. So you can pick all boundary or none. If it's none, there are no dots. If it's boundary, then there are dots on the left side, but not in the middle of the string. And if it's all, then there are dots even in the middle of the string for white space. So the reason I do that is I used to work with people who were kind of sloppy about mixing tabs and spaces. And the dots kind of show me that they're all spaces and there aren't tabs. So a tab looks different. I don't know if I can, how do I show a tab? Because I can't type a tab, it's just going to insert white space. I'd have to have a file that has a tab in it to show you. This is harder for me than it seems. But just imagine if there was a tab here instead of 4 spaces, it would look like, I think it looks like an arrow or something. Yeah, just like on the tab key on some keyboards. This would just be an arrow pointing to the right instead of 4 dots. So that's the reason. I'm just used to wanting to see where the white space is. All right, for now, let's just have this return expand ticket names input, just to get it to compile. And then I changed a bunch of other things. Oh, I was working on this needs to have the new name applied to it, right? With the query on it. I need to go through a bunch of these and do this to it. But not all places. Not here, or yeah, not these places here. And not there. That we're leaving alone. Yeah, we'll leave all of those alone. That makes sense now. Let's see if I let the compiler guide me to fixing this. I have less than 5 minutes left. So I think I got to wrap this up and we'll continue it tomorrow. Okay, the big problem is client record 152 doesn't know what a ticket query is. Oh, I can't put it here. Unless I make it inside of this type. I guess that's what I'll do for now. Where are you? Ticket query. So it's right here. We'll move it. So it's in client record. And I'll just do that. This type is used to fetch to hold all information on what is being requested and a fetch of data from the, yeah. Good enough. I'll have to say character client record colon in front of these though. And I need to go to all the prototypes of these functions and fix them. Well, thank you, Cthulhu. I last streamed a week ago. But my schedule's been so chaotic, I haven't been able to stream since like last Tuesday. So I should be streaming again. Actually, it won't be tomorrow because today's Tuesday, right? I'll be streaming again on Thursday in 2 days. Unless I try to squeeze... I might try to squeeze in some streaming tomorrow. We'll see. Yeah, but I'm literally out of time, so I gotta end the stream here before I finish this. So, not tomorrow, but in 2 days, I'll resume working on this. Improving how I query information to show up in the tickets list here from the database up to here. That's what I'm gonna continue on next time. I won't have time to finish it up. I have to go out the door, literally. So we'll have to go raid someone right now. And I hate the new stream manager. Hate this thing. I guess I'll just go to the Twitch front page to see who's streaming. Following. Live. Alright. Hey, I hardly ever get to do this. I think we'll raid Adam since he has a long stream day today. Let's set up to do this. I'm going to try to use the new stream manager thing. So yeah, Adam13531. You should check out his channel. We're about to go see it now. He's making a game called Botland. Strategy game with a focus on automation. Today he's doing a long stream, and I forget exactly what he's working on. I think it's... I'm actually watching a stream right now. It's kind of hard to figure out what he's doing just looking at his code. Kind of like probably what most people think of when they look at my code. But he's doing refinements and improvements to his game. It came out a couple months ago. And I look up to him. He has a great community, and he's been teaching me a lot over the last year and a half about streaming and coding in general. And so highly recommend his channel. We're going to go rate him right now. I don't like having that preview in the stream manager. I hate this. Okay. I'm hitting the button, okay? Even though I don't like the new stream manager. Start raid. Okay, I think it's working. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you back in 2 days. So, unless I do a surprise stream tomorrow, but probably not. Anyway, thank you, and see you in a couple of days. Bye.